scientific method. This is the one time the question is like the answer. It's the method scientists use to make or solve a problem. However, if you put that on the test, you only get half credit. Let's explore what the scientific method is all about. First, first unit, we're learning about science. It's important for us to learn to think like a scientist, learn how to design experiments to understand our bodies and the world around us. Think! So, scientific method. You're going to ask a question, make a hypothesis, which is an educated guess, whether the problem, or whatever the question is, or whatever you want to know that the answer to. So you ask a question, and your hypothesis is your answer. You'll design an experiment to test the question. You observe the results, you'll make conclusions, and you communicate with the world, and the world can verify your results. That's basically the scientific method. That's how scientists work in the real world. First, you ask a question, make sure it's clear and exact. What are you trying to find out? Second, make a hypothesis. That's an idea we can test by doing an experiment. It's your best guess about how something works. And it's not a fact. We must do experiments to find out if it's correct. What are factors that decide how much water can stay on a coin? That's the question. Now you got to figure out, how do you find out what affects the coin? You design an experiment, and the variable is a thing that we can change in the experiment. You should change only one variable at a time and keep all others the same. That's why in the coin lab, you change the water to soapy water. You change the variable of the water or liquid. It doesn't have an effect on the coin. This is called a controlled experiment. If you have too many things happening, then you can't find a source. One of the biggest problems with cancer is human beings have too many things happening. Is it something I eat? Is it because I smoke? Is it something I live by? Is it the electricity in the air? Is it the radiation from my microwave? Is it where I am? Is it my ethnicity, my race? There are too many variables to find out the exact cause of cancer. That's a problem. Of course, observe the results, watch what is happening. You gotta make a table to record your observations, and you change one variable and observe what's happening. To make your life easier, in the beginning, I design all the experiments for you and tell you what we're doing and tell you why. Later, you'll design your own experiments. Here's your sample table. Always remember you want to have experiment number like trial 1, trial 2, trial 3. Like the coin lab, you have to do it more than one time. Label everything very clearly and see what's happening. This is a sample table. It does not apply to anything. Make a conclusion. What you have learned at the end of the experiment. Talk to people that way they can talk to you and see if they've done your experiment or you get the same results. So here's a scientific method. This is very important. You don't need to write this down because there's no notebook or no notebook check. However, I would print this page out and store it in a folder with your core science information. There's different versions of scientific method, but they're all wrong. Only use my version. I'm joking. There are different versions, so you can use another version, but for clarity, I always like to see that you have a problem, a hypothesis, which is your answer, an experiment, data, and conclusion. I always look for those 5 things. They might be called something else, but I look for those 5 things. We, next week, will do an experiment on Coca-Cola. I'm hoping you have Coca-Cola in your home. If you do not have Coca-Cola in your home, perhaps you have vinegar. We're not going to use your tooth, but we will see the effect of Coca-Cola, not on your tooth, but on the egg. I'm hoping you have an egg, but I don't know if we want to do this experiment. Talk to your parents at home and see if they're willing to donate one egg and a little bit of Coca-Cola. It would be ideal to have a Ziploc bag for this experiment or something, a container that you can throw away when you're done and you don't have to open it. there is a small chance it will smell bad. Small chance. Very good chance. We'll take water and soda, and we'll just put the egg in it, and we'll see what happens. If you're using cups, I would cover the cups. Make sure nothing gets inside of it. If I'm using cups, I would prefer you use a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag so you can seal it and you can just throw it away without ever opening it. And we'll see if you get results like this, but you never know. Anyway, that's the scientific method for today.
First.